This is a short presentation on learning centers. The bulk of your classroom will consist of various learning centers, learning areas, or stations. There are several names used to describe how we divide up our classrooms. Your classroom is you and hopefully your children. I often refer to my classroom as my second home. We and our children spend as much time, sometimes more, in our classroom as we do in our homes. Your classroom will reflect your philosophies and your beliefs. How you arrange your room will help or hinder your curriculum. Your observation and assessment project will ask you to list and describe 5 environmental factors that support or hinder the curriculum. Sometimes something as simple as where the bathroom is, or where the hand washing sink is, or the storage closet can hinder your curriculum. Having materials close at hand and organized can support the curriculum. Arrangement of furniture and dividers can influence guidance. If there's no place to run, children can't and won't run. Problem solve before it becomes a problem. I always analyze my room for a different arrangement if I continue to have the same kind of problems. Our block area was walled off on 3 sides, so no one could accidentally walk through the construction area, and it was impossible for a child to throw the blocks if he or she became frustrated. Problem solved before it became a problem. How can you arrange your room, or how should you arrange your room? I wish I could give you an easy answer. Your classroom may vary year to year. When I was a graduate assistant at Syracuse University, we changed our classroom every week. We were some part of a research study. It was certainly a pain in the butt for teachers, but the children loved it. Does the arrangement affect your curriculum? I'll let you reflect on that one. All right, let's look at the different areas. In many classrooms, this is what I see in the art area: an easel. Painting seems to imply art for many teachers. An easel with the ability of students to paint what they want is not a bad idea. It just can't be everything. A table with materials that children can use freely should also be available. A teacher can selectively pick the materials for the day, maybe foam shapes and paper plates and glue, maybe Play-Doh and plastic knives for cutting. As mentioned previously, if you have a goal in mind, your materials should reflect that. Please remember, the end result of an art product belongs to the child. We need to always ask permission if we can display it. Never ever guess what you think it might be. This is where open-ended questions come in handy. A quote from your book: "No adult interpretations or descriptions can or should describe what a child has created." This is part of the child's own process of communication and creativity. What else is there to say? The block area. I love the sentence in your textbook that states, "Wooden blocks naturally appeal to young children because they feel good to the touch, are symmetrical, and encourage open-ended explorations." I would add that they even smell good. Besides what you see listed here, children also gain a concept of numbers, quantity, measuring, symmetry, patterns. Many engineers will tell you that they spent long hours in a block corner when they were young. I've become enthralled with the International Space Station and astronauts. My hero, Scott Kelly, says that he loves still to this day playing with blocks and patterns. Spatial relationships is another offshoot of block building. I often wonder if I spent more time in a block center, if my math would have been better. The discovery area. You will find this in the science chapter in your textbook. This is the please touch area. Please explore area. This is the area where you scaffold the most. We often ask, what would happen if? It is not always our job as teachers to tell. It is often our job to help children discover. As your textbook states, it is about setting up the environment for finding out about the world. And the core of science is observation. We sometimes as teachers need to just step back and let the wonders of the world happen. We get excited when children discover something. A child learning about his or her world is about the child constructing a mental model of the world and how it works. It's not always perfect. All of us have evolving concepts of our world. Dramatic play, a very unique area. Your textbook incorporates it in with social studies and states that it lends itself to every aspect of your curriculum. The days of the dramatic play area just being plain house are gone. I have seen fire stations and vet offices and hospital rooms and even a Viking ship. We can incorporate whatever we are working on, counting, one-to-one correspondence, comparing, contrasting. All of those concepts listed in the Florida Early Learning Standards can be incorporated into your dramatic play area. Be creative when setting up your dramatic play area. Literacy, library, reading area. Some classrooms are big enough to have more than one book area. Some even have a writing area that is separate from the reading area. But some centers do not have designated reading areas, but then you will find books in every area of the classroom. Children are encouraged to look at and read books anywhere. Most facilities now have a computer area, again depending upon the size of the classroom and the amount of money the facility has to spend on materials. I've seen video recorders in a few classrooms so children can record their stories. Definitely a very literary activity. As technology changes, we may need to rethink our definition of literacy. Luckily, children still enjoy having us read stories to them. The manipulative area, the area that encourages fine motor control and many cognitive skills. Manipulative should be easy for the children to reach and easy for them to put away. Most manipulative shelves will contain a picture of the manipulative so the child knows where to put it when they are done using it. Every classroom will have different manipulatives. Teachers often use what they are comfortable with and what they know and understand what a child learns from using them. A whole semester could be devoted to manipulatives, what each one does and what a child might learn from it. Lastly, the outdoor area. Some teachers do no planning for this area. They just let the children go. Again, if you have no idea where you are going, you won't know when you get there. There are many lessons to be learned from outside play. Some facilities now require teachers to plan at least one activity that is documented for outdoor time. Children learn every single second of every single day. We can provide new experiences, we can scaffold their developing skills, and help them create meaning to make more learning meaningful. We cannot go into children's heads to really know and understand where they are developmentally. There are a gazillion charts and measures to help us with the physical development of children, but it's the cognitive development that sometimes stumps us. Sit back and watch. Be quiet and listen. Make notes. A child will reveal their abilities over time as we watch and listen. Our learning environments, the choice of learning centers can greatly influence what we learn about the developing child.